Hello and welcome to our walk through history. 71 North Main Street, which is the building you are standing by, has a very interesting story. From a drugstore to an advertising business, you'll find it all in the history of this building. One of the most interesting things about this site is that the first newspaper in Chagrin, the Exponent, was located here. We'll learn about that and plenty of other interesting facts. This building was a part of a merchant block built in 1855. On March 5th in 1858, the entire block was burned down due to the structures being made completely out of wood. The structure was rebuilt and named the Phoenix Block. It was given this name because it represents the buildings being completely destroyed, then, like a phoenix bird, the new buildings rose from the ashes. 71 North Main Street was occupied by many businesses. One of the first businesses that were in this building was a grocery store that lasted from 1855 to 1857. The second business that was located in this building was a drugstore owned by William Christopher Waldron. The drugstore was a number 71 from 1858 to 1872. William Christopher Waldron was the president of the Harmonial Institute, and he owned a lot of land in Chagrin. He eventually bought Town Hall as well. His father was Charles Waldron and his mother was Hannah Barnum, who was distant cousins with P.T. Barnum, who worked with illusions at the circus. His father was elected a trustee and later elected as a judge, so they were a very important and wealthy family. William C. Waldron passed away on January 8, 1872, aged 47. Next, the Exponent newspaper occupied number 71. This newspaper was very important to many villages and communities because it offered communication and news was able to spread. Communication was harder back then, so the newspaper was a great way to spread the word about events. To get the news quickly, they used a telephone that was strung to Solon, which is 4 miles away. The people of Chagrin wanted to hear more about the local news, and that is what the Exponent provided. Stranahan was also proud that the paper wasn't controlled by any political party. In fact, the top of every newspaper read, Chagrin Falls Exponent, open to all parties, controlled by none. The owner of this newspaper was born in Newton Falls, Ohio on January 18, 1844. His name was John J. Stranahan. He came to Chagrin in 1873. He was the owner of the Exponent for 42 years, but when he retired, he sold the newspaper to A. H. Squire, who had worked with him for 41 of those years. Stranahan was also a part of a folding boat company called Stranahan Folding Boats. The company was very successful. They were able to sell the folding boats in places all over the world such as Canada, Australia, New York, and many more. Their boats also won an award at an expedition in London, England. One of his other accomplishments during that time is becoming the superintendent of the Put-in Bay Fish Hatchery and later the fish hatchery in Warm Springs, Georgia. He also served in the Ohio legislature from Cuyahoga County. Stranahan retired around the age of 70 and spent most of his free time traveling the world to visit foreign countries. He died at 80 years old in 1924. After a long run of 90 years, the Exponent went out of business in 1964. The building was then left unoccupied for a year. In 1966, Falls Advertising was located at number 71. 1967 through 1971, David P. Shea also occupied the second floor while Falls Advertising was still there. Some other businesses in 71 North Main Street were Benetton, Marplex Incorporated, One Way Your Way, and currently Gypsy Soul. Some people that occupied the upstairs part of the building were Richard Pinkett and Dick Johnson. Overall, 71 North Main Street has a very interesting history. It held many businesses such as the Exponent, Marplex Incorporated, a drugstore, and more. Even though these businesses were on this site a long time ago, they played an important role in Chagrin Falls history. Thank you for joining us on our walk through history.